and the Toyotas and the Fords a good run for their money.
Just over 3 minutes separated the top 10 qualifiers, with a production vehicle brigade holding down 7 of the top 10 places. The next 10 crews were separated by 1 minute, and dust would certainly prove to be a problem. Only 5 special vehicles managed to qualify in the top 20. The Toyota Dealer 400 certainly broke the mold when it came to doing things differently. One such innovation was a 400-meter sprint along the main road, with 1,000 rand up for grabs for the first crew to top 200 kilometers an hour, or 500 rand for the first crew to set the fastest time. Spectators from Leidenburg and neighboring towns turned out in full force to witness the spectacle and indulge in some of the free food provided by Leidenburg Toyota.
It's always exciting to come to a new event, and it's great to come to new places that we haven't been going for the last 10 years. But yeah, it is a bit unknown. You don't quite know what to expect. It's a whole new set of organisation. You're not quite sure how the marking is and if they're going to do it as we used to, which we found out quickly in the time trial yesterday. The marking wasn't quite what we were used to, so yeah, it's a bit of unknown, but we're looking forward to it. It's a lovely day. It's going to be as hot as hell. We're going to sweat, but we're ready for it.
I'm expecting a few surprises on the route. Because the route's very tight. Yesterday we experienced that. It's very, very, very tight. And you can take no chances on the route. The moment you think you must go a little bit faster, you're off the road. So I'm glad we're starting at 6, so that there's a few guys ahead of me that can sort of sweep the road for me. And we will stay in the dust, and if something happened to them, we'll be there.
Oh, just for this 400-meter sprint, I thought Johan was always navigating it. He may have a little bit of fun as well. So he's going to take the driving there, and I'll resume driving duties at the start there.
A lot more power, something to respect, but yeah, we kept it together yesterday, and we feel we're in a comfortable position.
Race organizer Willie du Plessis got proceedings underway. On board with Grobler and Leek as they smoked the opposition and clocked 140 kilometers an hour. Ford versus Nissan. And Griffith powered away from Woolridge and Shorthammer and also clocked 140 kilometers an hour, with a Ford only managing 131 k's an hour. Reinecke and Houghton were up against Corbett and Moore. The lightweight Audi V8 powered batch showed the Toyota a clean pair of heels. Class D Nissan versus Class A BAT. Clearly a mismatch, but then it was all just for fun. Gibson and Brown clocked 139 kilometers an hour and were the fastest of the special vehicles. 4-cylinder Toyota power took on 6-cylinder Nissan power. For a moment it looked as if Cronje and Birkin would get the better of du Plessis and Baker, but in the end the Nissan edged out the Toyota by only 1 kilometer an hour. For the Toyota Dealer 400 included a 120 kilometer section from Leidenburg to Badfontein, followed by 2 laps of a 107 kilometer loop. Terrain included rocky outcrops, some muddy patches and fast anthill strewn sections, which would catch many crews unawares. The official start of the Toyota Dealer 400 at the Leidenburg airfield, and Gary Berthold and Brandon Harkes led the 48-car field away in the adrenalized corporate entertainment bat. Hannes Grobler and Richard Leek were next away in the proudly South African Nissan hardbody. Fortunately, a stiff breeze minimized the dust problem for Grobler and Leek, who started 33 seconds behind the bat. But teammates Duncan Foss and Mike Griffith, who only started 9 seconds behind them, would soon be faced with visibility problems. Team Ford Racing pair Woolridge and Scholthammer were content to play a waiting game this early in the race, but one suspects that the same could not be said for Mark Corbett and Johan Moore, who were hell-bent on catching race leaders Berthold and Harkes. Poor visibility was now becoming a major problem, as the onboard view from the Castrol Toyota Land Cruiser shows. Like Woolridge and Scholthammer, Reinecke and Houghton were hungry for an overall win and adopted a cautious approach in the opening stages of the race. And so too were Class A debutants Clint Gibson and Mike Brown in the Presidium Financial Services Bat, which Belgian Gregoire de Mavius drove in the Sun City 400. Class D leaders Coetzee Labuschagne and Johan Gerber were fifth in the production vehicle category and in with a chance of winning the Class D championship, while Class E championship leaders Mark Cronje and Chris Birkin needed a class win to clinch the Class E championship with one more race to go. They could have done without this overshoot that allowed Duplessis and Baker to sneak by in the Class D Nissan. On board with Hannes Grobler and Richard Leek, as they, like the rest of the field, struggled to find the route. Berthold and Harkes were about to lose the race lead. The proudly South African Nissan hardbody was, like it has been all season, again at the head of the field and disappearing into the distance. Berthold and Harkes should have been happy to be leading the special vehicle category, but their stated objective this season has been to beat the trucks at their own game, and right now they weren't. Bat Racing has been making inroads internationally, with Gregoire de Mavius recently ordering 8 vehicles, one of which will compete in Dakar 2004. The field was tightly bunched, with Foss and Griffith, who had just got past Berthold and Harkes, playing leaders of the pack in the proudly South African Nissan hardbody. Missing from the lineup were teammates Janelle de Villiers and Francois Jordan, who had retired from the UAE Desert Challenge earlier in the week and were languishing at an oasis in the desert while the Toyota Dealer 400 was in progress. On board with Reinecke and Houghton in the Castrol Toyota Land Cruiser. They had got by Corbett and Moore, who, like virtually the entire field, had wrong-slotted somewhere along the way, losing hard-earned positions and valuable time. Corbett, who's a former winner of the Roof of Africa, is well known for his hard-charging style and would not let this incident affect his performance in the Audi V8-powered Century Property Developments Bat. He has had a trouble-filled season and wanted nothing more than to walk away with the special vehicle category laurels on the inaugural Toyota Dealer 400. Clint Gibson and Mike Brown had the same objective in mind and were piling on the pressure in the Presidium Financial Services Bat. Gibson picked up 3 successive Class B wins before moving up to the ultra-competitive Class A. Yet again, Mark Cronje and Chris Birkin were mixing it with the big guns in their Class E Castrol Toyota Hilux 2.7i. The pair was 8th overall and 5th in the production vehicle category, with their Class E rivals nowhere in sight. GBS Nissan Racing crew Coetzee Labuschagne and Johan Gerber had dropped a place, but still had matters in control in Class D. Cliff and Louis Weichelt had made up 3 positions and were 10th overall and 2nd in Class D in the diesel-powered N1 4x4 Toyota Land Cruiser. Nissan Sugarbelt 400 winners Gerald Mundell and Billy Bond had moved up from 24th at the start to 11th overall and 4th in the special vehicle category in the Prolong Bat, while Hein Grobler and Gerard Prinsloo, who had started 11th in the GBS Racing Nissan, had dropped a place. KwaZulu-Natal cane farmers Manfred Schroeder and Jack Peckham had made up 2 positions in the Class E Team Ford Racing Ranger and were intent on hunting down class leader Cronje and Birkin. The former Class E champions have had a frustrating season and only managed to pick up a class win on the Nissan Sugarbelt 400. Kasi Kutsia and Oki Fourie were involved in a battle with the Atlas Copco Chicago pneumatic Jeep in the early stages of the race and managed to get by when the Jeep was sidelined with rear brake caliper problems. They were 3rd in Class E and 10th in the production vehicle category. Reigning Class B champions Marcus Taylor and Mark de Chalane started 18th in the Rollerback Racing JRE and were now 15th overall, 5th in the special vehicle category and the Class B leaders. Johan van der Merwe and his 16-year-old Martinez had gained 3 places in the Shivani Colt Rodeo, but were trailing their Class D rivals by quite a wide margin. Despite losing the 4-wheel drive on the Dicor Engineering Nissan Sani, Dirk van Reenen and Annemarie Ungere had managed to move from 20th at the start to 17th overall. Jury and Andre Duplessis started 22nd and were now 18th overall and 13th in the Class E BB Auto Nissan hardbody, but had Hannes Steyn and Fadi Segers breathing down their necks in the Toyota Hilux KZTE. Newcomers to the special vehicle category, Dani Morais and Andrew Utterson, have yet to finish a race this season, but it looked as if their luck might change. They'd started 27th and had worked their way up to 19th overall and 6th in the special vehicle category. Paulo Piazzamusso stood in for Alfie Cox in the Arnold Chats Cars Nissan hardbody, and he and Henny Terstegen were quite happy to be running in the top 20. Top Car managing editor Dion Skuman and fellow motoring scribe Jeremy Fall had had a clean run so far in the Top Car Nissan hardbody and were mere seconds behind Piazzamusso and Terstegen. Hannes Grobler and Richard Leek were in total command, but being chased